everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we're getting into the inauguration fashion. First things first, I know you're seeing my sweater and you're probably saying, interesting choice. And what I will say is, I look good in the sweater. I can't lie about that. If you think that this is not going to be a politically biased video, I think that you should exit stage left, right, center, however you want to go, I'd go. Because we're going to talk about the inauguration looks, get into the fashion, quote unquote, and discuss. So without further ado, let's get it started, I guess. All right, let's talk about Donald Trump. Weird. It was kind of just like a nothing burger. There wasn't really anything to the suit or the jacket, or even the tuxedo that he wore the night before, that was really of interest or of intrigue. I will say the suit that he wore to the inauguration was very muted. It was like a muted dark blue. The tie choice I also thought was kind of strange. It was printed with red and blue, and I know that it's like red, white, blue, America, caca, but there's nothing there of intrigue or interest. Not that I was expecting there to be, but there was just nothing particularly interesting to read into. But the person that is the most intriguing to read into is Melania Trump. And again, I'm saying this begrudgingly. She wore to the inauguration a double-breasted navy blue Adam Lips coat and shirt dress underneath, and a hat by Eric Javits. Here's the thing, the coat itself wasn't really anything exciting. It was a really dark navy blue that I thought was black initially, and then I realized that when I looked at the leather glove she was wearing, because I don't think she wants to touch her husband's hand, it was not in fact black, but the choice just felt really dark, and I know that the whole thing feels really dark, but one would think becoming the first lady again, you would be a little bit brighter about it, right? If you wanted to be the first lady again, that would be my thought, is you'd be a little happier. So yeah, I thought that was confusing. And then the hat that she wore, I think it's an ugly hat. The flat top, the white or cream silk ribbon on it, it wasn't attractive. And then it was so long, the brim, that it covered her eyes. You couldn't really see her eyes, which I feel like, again, she probably really thought this all out very well. Like, I don't want anybody to see my face. And I get it, but again, like, that feels weird for the first lady, and if anybody else was to have done that, there would be hell in a bay. It would be the headline of everything, but I'm digressing. Not enough. But what I will say is, the most magical part of the hat, and thank God there was the hat because it was comical at the very least, is the fact that when Trump tried to kiss her, she was like, the hat said no, so thank you. The night before, she did wear this look, quote unquote, if we have to call it that. It was a Saint Laurent cape in black with a Dolce & Gabbana shirt with a Carolina Herrera sequin skirt and a Ralph Lauren belt. And my thing is, well, yes, there's a lot of custom for Melania, or there was some custom for Melania. She's still shopping off the rack, which was something she was doing during the first term. Essentially, no fashion designers in the US would dress her, so she had a stylist that would go and buy things for her. And like, apparently from what I read, he had to like be incognito, makes sense, because fashion was very, no, we don't want to do this. We don't want to help you, but things have changed in this second term, so yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. But what I'll say is, she's still dressing off the rack, and I don't think it works. There's this whole, oh, she's so chic, she's bringing fashion back to, you know, the White House, and like, I don't see it, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that Jill Biden and Kamala Harris were like fashion plates. I never said really that they were. I was looking back at the old video that I did for the first inauguration. I said Jill Biden is not a fashion icon, and I stand by that. Kamala is a little bit different. Yes, she is a woman and she wore more colorful things, but in the same way that Donald Trump, JD Vance, Joe Biden, I don't think that her wardrobe necessarily needs to be as like fashion communicative as historically like FLOTUS or what is it, SLOTUS. It's a little bit different with Kamala, and anybody that thinks it's not, like, it is. But as for Jill, I never really thought she was a fashion plate, and I never thought she grew into a fashion plate like I said she would, or what I thought she would. It never happened. All right, we have one more Melania look to talk about. It's this Dior look that she wore to Arlington Cemetery. Again, it was a black cloak, double-breasted, with a knee-high black boot. Is it simple, and is she like a conventionally attractive woman? Yeah. Do I think that means it's like fashion? No, I don't. And I didn't think that it was that prior. So yeah, I don't see the narrative of, oh, chic first lady. It's a conventionally attractive woman wears clothes, and that's what we're going with. All right, next up we have JD Vance. Again, like, It's the blue suit, white shirt, red tie, America, caca thing. It's more colorful than Donald Trump's version is, and that makes sense because you don't want them to look exactly the same. But at the same time, it's not great. It's not interesting. It doesn't really say anything. It just says America, which I think is the point, but also at the same time, like, at least he dropped the guy liner. Although I actually kind of enjoyed being scared of the guy liner. It made me laugh. As for the day before, he was showing up and he wore this tuxedo and the cuffs of the shirt underneath were really, really long and the sleeves were really short and it was kind of weird and I didn't really understand it because, like, all you have to do is wear a suit properly. It's not that hard. You just have to do it. It's not difficult. So, yeah, I couldn't understand how we couldn't get the simplest of things correct. Now, the person that I think really showed up is Usha Vance, who is J.D. Vance's wife, and now the second lady of the United States of America. Usha, I feel like, also like Melania, begrudgingly doing it, but I think with Usha, again, there's this idea of, like, color play. For the inauguration, she wore this really bright pink Oscar de la Renta wool coat dress. The day before at Arlington, she wore that white Sergio Hudson dress and coat. And then she also wore a purple Gaurav Gupta dress. She wore a black Oscar de la Renta fitted, very fitted, black velvet gown. So she's been wearing, like, fashion brands. Some of the brands are happy to associate. Oscar de la Renta is the one that seems to be the happiest to associate. They dressed Jill Biden a lot during the 4 years and during the Biden term. So they're playing both sides of the fence. I understand it. I'm not saying that I like it. I don't. But at the same time, Oscar is a brand that dressed Nancy Reagan, dressed Laura Bush. So, like, I was never not expecting them to dress this particular grouping of people. So I understand people being mad. All I'm saying is, like, I'm just not surprised by it. It seems to be a very MAGA aesthetic brand. But yeah, I just found that the color element of JD and Usha really intriguing, seeing as they're kind of like the younger couple of this cabinet situation going on, whereas Trump and Melania both went for very dark colors. So I don't know. It was just an interesting observation, I would say. I want to talk about Ivanka, even though I don't want to talk about Ivanka because I really don't like Ivanka at all. And people are going to be like, not unbiased. Oh my God. I'm a homosexual with a microphone on the internet. Like, since when am I don't know, the CNN newsroom? I'm not. Okay, please. She showed up in a Oscar de la Renta, really beautiful, I can't deny that it's beautiful, like, it's a beautiful gown. Silver gown, it's encrusted, she had, like, a satin stole that she was wearing. But the thing that was most intriguing was to the inauguration, she wore this Dior outfit, and everybody was saying that it was very Handmaid's Tale. Not really wrong in that regard, but it was really dolled up. It was a Maria Grazia kind of special, but it was a Maria Grazia special referencing kind of early 50s Dior styles. There was the nipped-in waist of the new look, you know, a wasp waist, the belt, this even like the side draping, which I did not like, but is a Dior reference from way back when, late 40s, early 50s. And so I don't want to be like, oh, fashion communicates, but like, oh, fashion does communicate. And I do feel like, again, that idea of the nuclear family post-World War II, very mom, dad, 2.5 kids thing is what people expect and what people want from the Trump presidency. Like that's just the thing. And so I just found it to be an intriguing look, but I thought it was awful. It was a bit Princess Beatrice Eugenie with the little hat on it, and people can say, oh, she's so stunning, she's so beautiful. It's okay. That's fine. You can think whatever you want. I think it is scary Serena Joy, Handmaid's Tale-esque. I thought Elon Musk looked kind of blah. If you're going to do like this, the Cybertruck, try to be a little bit more exciting. Eric Adams, oof. I do have to say, Jeff Bezos' wife, Lauren Sanchez, she wore this white tailored suit, but then she was wearing like a lacy sort of bra, or at least what I assume is a bra, underneath. And so there was no shirt. It was just the suit and then the bra. And I thought that that was really crazy to me, because if it was to be on the other side, anybody else, we can all honestly, here as Hot Mode people that watch Hot Mode, you're a real true blue girly. We can have an intelligent conversation where we can say, if anybody else ever wore that, it would be seen very, very strangely. It would be seen as like a real awful, terrible denigration of the office, all those kinds of things. So I really thought it was so interesting to me that she wore that And also, she's somebody that's worn Oscar a lot. Like, she just wore it to the Met Gala. So it's like, I was kind of confused why she wouldn't, I don't know, have them make something. I don't know if it was her wearing Oscar this white look or not. But I just thought it was a really strange choice, because I think most people would know that that is, in fact, not, like, appropriate. And you know me, I'm very anti, appropriate dress, but like that I thought was crazy. Let's talk about Joe, Jill, Kamala, Doug. Doug, simple, not really exciting. I do think that, again, like, it should be a little bit more fashion forward. You know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna do the Kamala should be dressing in the similar manner as like Joe and Trump and JD Vance, and it should be like just business as usual, which I agree with. Doug should be a little bit more exciting and fashion forward, and I stand by that. Kamala wearing this black coat, again, like, it's more or less what she should be wearing. I don't really think that she should be like in a full fashion look just because she's a woman. No, she's a politician, so like that's what that is there for. Do I like it? No. But do I hate it? No. It fits the boring bill. As for Joe Biden, really almost like an electric blue suit that he's wearing. I think it's fine. I think it works. I think it makes sense. And then Jill is in this like really vibrant purple. It actually kind of reminds me of the purple that Kamala wore to the inauguration. So I thought that was kind of intriguing. And then she has like a little skirt suit underneath. Again, unfortunately for Jill, she never grew into becoming a fashion girly. So yeah, but that's my inauguration fashion review. As I did with the last one, like, this is it. Like, I'm giving my opinions, and then we're done. We're good. We're out. So thank you for watching. If you're upset by the watching, tough nuts. As Trump said in his inauguration speech, like, we're going back to the freedom of speech. So if you don't like my freedom of speech, move along. Snowflake, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one, and TTYL.